Hey everybody, it's Caroline from Royal Tarot Readings. Now today what I'm going to do is take a look at this ATR-72 aircraft that crashed in Brazil. I'm going to give you some information about the aircraft, give you information about what I know as a pilot about spins, and how you recover from them, and just some basic information about how this investigation might be handled. Then once I'm done with this information, I'm going to also play some little animations on spins and how you recover from them, just to give you a little information about how this particular spin may have occurred. And then after this, then I'll go ahead and do the tarot reading. Okay, so got my notes here. All right, so this was an ATR-72. This is a twin turboprop, which means it has two propellers and two engines. So this is a regional aircraft. It's been around for a long time. Back in 1994, there was a crash in Indiana, and it exposed the propensity of that particular aircraft at that time to be susceptible to icing. Now, when icing occurs over the wing or the tail of the aircraft, it interrupts the flow. And I'll put some diagrams up here for you. In order to a plane to fly, principles of flight are that wind has to go over the wings, and that's what provides lift, so that no matter how heavy the aircraft is, and combined with the thrust and the speed, it provides lift for the aircraft. So when icing occurs, it builds up on the wing and it prevents that flow from going over, and that's what can interrupt flow and cause crashes. This aircraft did have a tendency to that. So back in '94, the U.S. moved a lot of these aircraft to the southern regions of the country to prevent them from encountering icing events. After that, there were fixes made to the aircraft, and they were returned to mostly regular use in all areas. And they're used around the world. They're very, very stable, reliable aircraft. They do have a very narrow wing because they're built for speed. So the narrower the wing, the faster the plane can go. Now, this particular flight was in the air for over an hour before something occurred, and preliminary radar shows that the pitch of the aircraft, which is up and down, it suddenly went up and down several times, so that was recorded on radar. This was at 17,000 feet, which is, when you're flying a plane, altitude is your friend. So when you have something happen, the higher you are, the more time that you have to recover. When engines go out, you can pitch your aircraft into a gliding motion. You pitch the aircraft up a little bit, and there's a maximum pitch that you can do before you're actually going to cause a stall. But you pitch it up, and that's going to give you maximum range so that you can get yourself to an airport or some flat area so that you can land the aircraft. So even if the engines went out on this aircraft, they were still able to fly it, or should have been able to, as long as there was nothing wrong with the wings, preventing lift, which keeps the airplane in the air. Okay, so they were at 17,000 feet. A quick note, 18,000 feet and above is for jets. This was a commercial aircraft, but it was not a jet, so it wasn't flying above, it wasn't flying in the 18,000 feet, which is Class A airspace. It was below that, which is perfectly normal. It did have some issues, like I said, with pitch. Now, pitch oscillations can result in a stall. This one was actually an aerodynamic stall, which it's a flat stall, and that means instead of pitching up and then suddenly the aircraft started to go down and then eventually goes nose downward, it actually stayed flat and then started spinning, much like a leaf does. You see a leaf spinning and it just stays flat and it spins and just comes down, almost floating down. That's what this aircraft appeared to do. Now, I'm going to play a video at the end. I'm going to play a video of the actual falling of the aircraft before it crashed. I found this video. Someone in the city where it crashed got a video of it as it was falling. So it's a raw video. It was provided by just someone on the ground. So that's the one that I use, since it's probably the purest video of the actual crash. So now I know people have talked about death spirals and what we call graveyard spins. And basically what that is that this usually happens in low visibility when you can't see, you're on instruments. Well, if you're on instruments, this won't happen. But people who don't have a lot of experience flying were in non-visual flight rules, where suddenly they can't see. It's dark, there's haze, there's mist, and they can't see to orientate themselves with the ground. If you think that you're flying level and you realize your attitude or your altitude is telling you that you're descending, then your instinct is to climb because you don't want to be descending. You want to try to climb and stay level. Now, if you're in a spin, and I'll do some video of it too, but if you are actually at an angle and you're actually spinning and you pull that aircraft up, you're pulling tighter and tighter into that spin, but you don't know it because you think you're level. Instruments will prevent you from doing that because it's called an attitude indicator. It'll tell you if your wings are level. So instruments, believe your instruments, not your eyes when you're flying and you can't see anything. It's dark or there's mist or whatever. That's what they teach us in instrument school. Your instruments will not lie to you. Your eyes will at that point. So this was not a death spiral because it would have gone like this. It would have gone over, just spinning down and down and down, and it would eventually just been where that one wingtip was pointed up and the other wingtip was pointed down. From the video, that did not occur. This was a completely flat aerodynamic spin, which are actually really rare. Aerodynamic spins are also related to problems with the wings, not the engine. Like I said, the engine goes out, no problem. If you find yourself into a stall, which is you're going along and the nose gets pitched up a little bit too high, now your lift over the wings has been interrupted and the plane will start to fall. And the way to get around that is you actually pitch the nose downward. Completely counterintuitive to what you'd think. You pitch the nose downward and now you get wind over the wings and it will cause lift. And now you can get back where you can now start to climb. But pitching the nose upward in a stall is completely the wrong thing to do. And they teach you that. That's part of pilot training. Aerodynamic spins are typically, how to recover from that is typically not taught because it's so rare in aircraft. It's possible to get out of aerodynamic spins, but your wings have to be undamaged. And honestly, in this video that I saw, it looks like one of the wings is bent. And I'll show you that video. I took some screenshots of it. Actually, I'll put one up here for you. You can see the wing actually appears bent. If it's bent, there's no recovering. You can't get wind over the wings to create that lift. So it just caused the plane just to keep flatly coming down and spinning. So in the principles of flight, you have pitch, which is up and down. You have roll, which is left and right. And then you have yaw, which is on the z-axis. And the yaw you can think about, if you're driving along and you go too fast in the back, you start fishtailing, the back of your car starts going back and forth. That's called yaw. And that will happen if you get into a stall and now the tail starts to go left or right. Now that's going to cause that spin in that axis so that as you're coming down, you've got this flat aerodynamic spin. The only way to get out of that I know of is just as if you get caught in sand or snow in your car and you try to rock back and forth. That's the way to try to get lift back in your aircraft. You pitch the throttle in as you get some thrust, and then you push it back and you let it go back, and then you go forward again. You're trying to get control and back of the aircraft to level those wings. Once you get level back on the wings, then you can push the nose down, get lift over the wings, and come back up. So that's typically, but that's not taught usually. And if the wings are damaged, there's no way to get out of it. So what caused this? Were the wings damaged? It looks like one was to me. So what the investigators are going to look at is they're going to look at pilot and crew training. Was this a new crew? Was this a crew that's been seasoned? It's been flying together for a while? They're very experienced. Did they run into an event that they recognized and they were trying to handle? Was it weight and balance? This plane had been flying for over an hour, and as the plane flies, of course, now you're burning off fuel. So as the plane gets more and more into flight, it weighs less and less because now you've burned off fuel. So was weight and balance an issue? They're going to look at that. They're going to look at the operations, the mechanical operations. Was this well maintained? Were there issues? with maintenance, scheduled maintenance, did it happen? Were scheduled down maintenance times, were they applied as they're supposed to be? They're going to look at what happened right before the event when they were cruising at 17,000 feet and everything seemed normal. What was that particular condition like right before the event occurred? And then did the plane run into some weather? Was there, at 17,000 feet, you can get icing. So they're going to look at that to see, did the plane encounter some icing that wasn't expected? Because that would have, of course, that wouldn't have damaged the wings, but that's something that they're going to look at. Was there a mechanical issue? Was there some type of loss of control, an unexpected failure of the aircraft that the flight crew recognized and then tried to handle? And they'll get that from the flight data recorders. Of course, the black box is that's going to be the cockpit recorder, which is going to say what the crew were talking about at the time. And there's the flight data recorder, which gives the flight the instrument information that the aircraft was constantly recording at the time, right before the incident and then after the incident occurred. I took a look at the video also to see if the engines were intact, and both engines were there. It looks like both were operational. I'm not quite sure. The video is a little fuzzy. I know one definitely was operational. So when you're trying to recover from a spin as well, if one engine is spinning and the other one is not, then you've got to balance for that as well. But again, it looks like one of the wings were bent, so I don't know if there was really any recovery from this. But they have to find out, how did that wing get bent? What happened? This particular aircraft, the ATR-72, also has some built-in safety features where it, like most aircraft, commercial aircraft, it has a stall warning. So it will tell you if you're about to stall. And if you do stall the aircraft and it starts falling backwards, it's going to automatically push the nose down to try to regain lift on the aircraft. This investigation is also going to be handled by the Brazilian authorities. They probably will invite the U.S. and the National Transportation Safety Board to participate in the investigation, just because of resources and the availability of types of investigation equipment that they have. They're going to try to rebuild the aircraft, put it back together as much as possible, and find out the position of instruments. If there was an explosion, they'll see it. They'll find the residue of the explosion. They'll see the bending of wherever it was. It didn't look like anything was on fire when it came down. I didn't see any smoke coming out. And again, I'll play that video for you so you can see it for yourself. Okay, so that's basically the information about what I saw on the video and my knowledge as a pilot. So let's see if we can find out now through a tarot reading what exactly happened. And the questions I'm going to ask is, did an explosion occur on board the aircraft during flight? And why did one of the wings appear to be bent? Was it an accident or an unfortunate occurrences of unexpected things that happen that wasn't intentional that caused this? Did the plane hit something during flight? Because like I said, one of those wings looked bent. Did the plane encounter icing? Was this an intentional act, and were any of the passengers on board targeted? Because I think, as I heard, there were I think 7, they call oncologist doctors, which are doctors who specialize in cancer, on board. So, were any of them targeted if this was an intentional act? That's what we're going to find out in the tarot reading. So, let me go over to the tarot table, and we'll take a look. Thanks for listening to this blurb. If you're interested in it, great. If not, you skipped ahead, no problem. Get ready to go to the tarot table. Thanks, everybody. Hey everybody, all right, I am back. I'm at the tarot table and we're going to do this reading now on this Brazilian plane crash. So I'll do my little blurb ahead of time. Everything presented in this video is for fun and entertainment purposes only. Not so much fun, but it's just all speculation. Of course, it's tarot reading, it's card reading. I'm just going to interpret the energy of the cards. All right, so let's take a look now. What in the world happened with this plane crash?
You want to start?
All right, quick little interruption there. All right, so, okay, let's take a look and see what happened with this plane crash. All right, so for the Brazilian aircraft that crashed on August 9th in Brazil, did an explosion occur during flight? Did an explosion occur during flight on this aircraft? Why did it appear that one wing appeared to be bent or much smaller than the other? Wheel of Fortune, a turn of luck. Okay. All right, why did one wing appear bent? And was this an accident or... Ace of Swords, no. Okay, was it an accident? No. Okay, let's see if that holds. Was this an accident or unfortunate occurrence of accidental events? Were the wings securely mounted or fastened to the aircraft according to regulation? So during maintenance, wings are pulled off the plane. I mean, they completely are taken off the plane to inspect for different types of mechanical mountings and things. So were the wings securely mounted or fastened according to regulations? Did the plane hit something during flight? Magician. All right, that's manifestation. Queen of Pentacles. All right, an angry woman. All right. Did the plane hit something during flight? Did the plane encounter icing during flight? This plane does have a propensity to be very susceptible to icing issues. And was this an intentional act? Was this an intentional act? And were any of the passengers on board targeted? These were oncologists that were on board the aircraft. I believe 7 of them. So were any of the passengers being targeted? All right. So 8 questions for the tarot today. 5 of Swords fighting. Page of Pentacles in reverse. Trying to sell a story that's not true. Okay, whoops. Okay, I'd definitely say these cards already. These are Wheel of Fortune again. Turn of luck. All right. Do one more shuffle here. Oh my goodness, these cards want to talk. They are very chatty. All right, I'm not going to look. I'm just going to go ahead and use this one. Go ahead and cut. Oh, gosh, interesting cut. Okay. All right, 8 questions. Let's do 8 cards. I'm actually getting very jittery. Wow. Okay. Actually 8 questions. So I need to do it like this. Okay. Underline energy. Oh my God. The Devil. All right. I think there's our answer right there. The Devil. 9 of Pentacles. A single wealthy woman. And the Ace of Wands. A new idea. And there's our Wheel of Fortune. Oh boy. All right, so so the Devil, dark energy, addiction, evil deeds, evil thoughts. $1 for the Devil's Swear Jar. All right. Wow. Okay. 9 of Pentacles, a single wealthy woman, very prosperous, very prominent. Ace of Wands, a new idea, an idea that's going to bear fruit. Wheel of Fortune, a change of luck. A very evil deed that's being done by a single wealthy woman. She had a new idea on how to turn luck. Yikes. All right, reading's done. No, I'm kidding. Okay. Wow. All right, did an explosion occur during flight? Did an explosion occur during flight? The Magician. Manifestation. This is about spin. This is about having every tool in the book to complete your task. I think there was an attempt to make it appear that an explosion had occurred, although I did not see evidence of one. So perhaps something was put into place to try to make an explosion occur, and it didn't happen. Because this is the appearance, this is the manifestation, or maybe it could be putting something on board to make an explosion eventually occur. And maybe it was not to create a fire, but to destroy. With the presence of the Devil, I'm going to say that if the explosion didn't occur, it was made to appear that one did. And I think we have a woman at the heart of the situation. A new idea was thought of on how to change luck. All right. Why did the wing appear bent? Why did the wing appear bent? The Lovers. All right, the Lovers of course, it's about a loving relationship. It's also about choices. Why did the wing appear bent? Because it was chosen. They chose to. Wow, that can be interpreted as an intentional thing. So why did the wings appear bent? This can be about choices. Did they choose for it to be bent? Was it something that was... the devil's about manipulation. It's about narcissism. It's about hurting people. Instigated by the wealthy woman. A new idea on... Okay. So the wings appeared bent because they were. A choice was made. They thought of a new way to... This sounds so crazy, but a new way to... it could also be that there was a new maintenance plan, too, that wasn't done correctly. It was put into place, and these wings weren't securely fastened. It could be that as well, that the choice was made to do things in a new way, and the woman is the one who made the decision, and she wasn't worried about things being as safe as they could be. I would look at new maintenance plans that were put into place, new procedures, things that were changed, especially centering on the wings. Was this an accident or an unfortunate occurrence of events? The Seven of Swords. No, this was about deception and lies and trickery. Okay. Ooh, just got major goosebumps. Okay, no, it wasn't an accident. It was deliberate. It was a thief in the night who came in probably during the night and changed something. Changed some maintenance routine, did not do a maintenance routine, said a maintenance routine was performed, and it wasn't. And it was quite deliberate. It was absolutely quite deliberate. And we have a single wealthy woman who's in charge of everything. A new plan was put into place, and thinking that either they were going to change their luck and save money or do things in that way, or change their luck in some other shape or form, either to the benefit of the airline or in targeting the people on the plane. So was it an accident? No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. Were the wings securely mounted or fastened according to regulations? The Six of Cups in reverse. All right, Six of Cups upright, that's about the past, about things that occurred previously, and in reverse, returning to the past, returning to things that used to be. So maybe maintenance routines that used to be used in the past is what they reverted to. They didn't go with new established routines, new... like I said, this aircraft back in the 90s was very susceptible to icing. I don't know what year this plane was. If this was a very old model that had never had the modifications made to prevent it from being susceptible to icing, or if it was a newer one, or if established maintenance routines, newer ones that normally that were put into place, were reverted. Let's do things the old way. And it was done with the intent in mind to either cut corners, save costs, not worrying about safety. Let's do things the old way. We'll save money. We have this great new idea on how we can change our luck, or how we can affect something to happen to our advantage. Oh my goodness. Okay. Did the plane hit something during flight? The Seven of Pentacles in reverse. All right, Seven of Pentacles upright is about a return on investment. You have put a lot of money and effort into something, and you're waiting for your hard work to pay off. And in reverse, your hard work will never pay off. All the time and effort and money you've put into something is wasted. So did the plane hit something during flight? Interesting card to get. It's right under the Magician. So we have manifestation. Hard work did not pay off. They were trying to manifest something to happen and it didn't work. So I'm going to say no, the plane did not hit something during flight. This has nothing to do with hitting anything. This is all about efforts and plans that were in place did not work. And they needed to manifest some way to make their plans work. And because this was actually a very intentional act, so it was nothing having to do with anything that was, they didn't hit anything during flight. This all had to do with this new idea that this woman had on how to bring the plane down, how to hurt people, how to make something to their advantage, and to change their luck so that they now have good luck. So no, it didn't have anything to do with hitting anything in the air. Did the plane encounter icing during flight? Ace of Pentacles, that's a no. It's a direct no. Nope, absolutely not. Thanks for asking. No, it absolutely did not. Icing had nothing to do with this crash. Under the Lovers, which are choices. All right. Was this an intentional act? I think we already know, but let's see what we get. The Star. Oh my gosh. Was this an intentional act? So the Star is about hope and healing and, oh my God. This is about healing cancer. The Devil is Cancer. Oh my God, I just got major goosebumps. Was this an intentional act? This was an intentional act to deceive. They were trying to effect a deception, trickery, trying to steal things in the night, trying to lies. So, oh my God. I don't know how else to say this except that there was a major information about healing for cancer, and this was an attempt to bring that down, to wipe it out. And this was allegedly entertainment purposes only, and this was this woman's idea. I have a new way. I thought of a way to change our luck. We'll get rid of him. Oh my gosh. Oh my God. This is healing. This is hope. This is faith. Healing for cancer. Oh my God. And we want to keep our lies going. We want to keep our deception going. How do we do that? Were any of the passengers on board targeted? Any of those doctors, were they targeted? Oh my God, the Eight of Wands. The Eight of Wands upright is about air travel. This is about air travel. Fast-moving energy, air travel. And in reverse, this is about obstacles. We're going to put obstacles in place to stop the air travel. Oh my God, were they targeted? The plane was targeted. The plane was targeted, and they were going to do it by going back to old ways of doing things. Things that no longer, maybe methods and maintenance ways that they knew were wrong, and they went ahead and reverted to that method to say that yes, our maintenance was completed, but it wasn't with the way it should have been done. If this is shown to be maintenance, that maintenance was, I'm going to say that this is going to be shown to be maintenance that was done incorrectly, maintenance that was done the old way, if they are willing to even admit that that's what happened. Maintenance on the plane that was used years and years ago. Yeah, we did the maintenance, but they didn't do it the right way. Was it intentional? It absolutely was. they thought of a new way. Oh, we'll bring down the plane. We'll do the maintenance, but we'll just do it the old way we used to. Allegedly. Oh my God. Okay. Let's do a wrap up. Did an explosion occur during flight? They thought and tried to make it appear that that's what happened, but it's a manifestation. It's going to be a trick. Absolutely, that's not what happened. And then why did the wing appear bent? Because the choice was made to not secure it correctly. That's why it appeared bent. It wasn't secured correctly. And then was this an accident or an unfortunate incident? Absolutely not. This was all about lies and deception and trickery. This was done the night before the flight. So someone came into the hangar the night before the flight and either did maintenance incorrectly or reverted the maintenance to the old way of doing things. Were the wings securely fastened or mounted according to regulations? Not current regulations. They were fastened to the aircraft, but not by the current regulations. And they went back. They went back to what they had done previously and maybe loosened bolts or allegedly, entertainment purposes only, and made it appear that everything was fine, but it really wasn't. Going to the old ways of doing things. Did the plane hit something during flight? Absolutely not. It had nothing to do with it. This was about they did not have a return on their investment. All the money they had put into trying to stop this, stop the passengers from doing whatever it is they were trying to do, or to stop the flight, to stop the doctors from going to where they were going, that didn't work. They were going anyway. So it had nothing to do with hitting anything. And then did the plane encounter icing during flight? Absolutely not. Aces in reverse or no's. Nope, had nothing to do with that. Was this an intentional act? It was an intentional act to affect healing. It was intentional to affect the healing of cancer. The devil is cancer. I mean, it just is. And they wanted to keep the deception and the lies and the trickery going. And were any of the passengers on board targeted? The plane was targeted. Absolutely, the plane was targeted to bring them all down. Obstacles. These are obstacles put into place for air travel. Oh my goodness. Allegedly, I'm just telling you what the cards are saying. I'm not accusing anybody. I'm not saying anything happened like that. I mean, it's just what the cards are saying. Okay. I hope that you found this interesting, and I hope you guys are doing well. That's it tonight from Caroline at Royal Tarot Readings. Thanks, everybody. I hope to see you again soon. Bye-bye.